morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to How to Get One More Deal in 2025. I realize that I'm in this room a lot and sometimes people don't know anything about me. So I was here early, so I kind of wanted to give you the baseball card version of me. I was licensed in 2021, so I'm one of those COVID babies, just like everybody else.
Me too.
Yeah, right? You know, we've all felt that. I'm an ex-educator and trainer. My specialty is social and emotional growth and development, which is really helpful. Nobody wants to admit that the same skills of dealing with a toddler also translate to working with clients. But when you think about what I know, I'm like, okay, foundation of the pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The foundation is food and security. If we don't have that figured out, we can't find jobs, have relationships, become self-actualized. You know, we can't reach the top without this being taken care of. So there's a really good reason that people do get dysregulated and upset during transactions. We're talking about a very big thing. I live in Kent, so all you people that are like, oh my gosh, I have to drive over to the west side, I live in Kent. So I come further. I am a full-time agent. I have always been a full-time agent. I am in the top 20% of our agents, which was kind of a really great surprise to see me get invited to different things because I'm too busy thinking about the people part, not the number part. And if you think about people enough, I'm here to tell you that the numbers do kind of take care of themselves. I am an annual capper. That is something I'm kind of proud of. Actually, I started off on a team, and when I went out on my own, I was worried that I would never cap again. And I gaslit myself, and I did. I continued to cap. So it can happen, and it's just about time and intensity every single day. I chose Keller Williams Gator Metropolitan, like literally chose them. There is a brokerage, a KW brokerage, that I see their sign practically in my backyard. I didn't like the culture. So there's Keller Williams, and we are amazing. We're in an international brokerage. We have value education, but I picked Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan for the culture. So this kind of opportunity and the amazing people, that is why we're here. So I just like to point that out to people. And I am the Eastside Productivity Coach. That's a newer position that I'm stepping into, and I appreciate everyone's support as I've been navigating that. We always talk about what's our big why. My big why is Sean and Cameron. My job disappearing over COVID and realizing that the things that I thought were going to happen from longevity at a job were not going to happen. I had to double time it. I needed to show my daughter things are going to be okay and what resilience looks like coming out of COVID. I couldn't sit and fuss about my job. I needed to find a new one. And Sean has always been my biggest fan. He's like, you're great at education, but can we talk about you going back into real estate? Because I started off as a property manager. I interviewed for the job, got the job on my honeymoon, and that's the only job I ever did as a wife. When I first got married, property management. So he was like, come back to it. And he's still there cheering me on. So those are my big whys. And it's good to know that. That's a really close to heart one. About my business. I literally built my business from the ground up, and I had to do it very quickly. I did talk to 20 people a day about real estate. I talked to 100 people a week about real estate. I was out there, and it was something that I practiced. And I am an ex-educator and a service heart. A sales heart didn't feel comfortable to me. I spent a lot of time being uncomfortable because I didn't want to be salesy. And I managed to figure out a way to do that. My community engagement is part of one of my biggest lead generating sources at this time, because I consistently show up and I'm being the person that feels natural and organic to me, and that tends to bring people back to me. So pick your space and live in it comfortably. I time block every day, I still do. Sometimes it's a little chaotic being a solo agent because I might be time blocking at 10 p.m. at night to do the things that I haven't gotten to yet. And I still do it, and it's still important. So time block. Be intentional about this business. Usually we are like, oh, I don't want to work for someone else. But we forget that the someone else, well, they expected you to show up for your shift every single day, and they felt bad if something happened, but they still expected you to show up. When you work for someone else, the expectation to show up is not just yours, it's also theirs. When we become our own business owners, sometimes we forget that, and then we're like, oh, but it's really, really hard or cold or ugh, and I don't want to show up today. So be the jerk boss sometimes to yourself, because that's what you need to do. Like I said, I gamified being uncomfortable. I would walk around with business cards in my pocket and I would hand them out to complete strangers. And because it felt so weird to me, I gamified it. And I would say things like, I made a deal with myself when I left the home today that I was going to get rid of these 20 business cards. And will you take one? Can I just introduce myself, tell you what I do, and would you take my business card? That's really uncomfortable for a lot of people to do. So I had to do it for a really big reason. So I made it a game. And sometimes I still make it a game. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to talk to 100 people today. And I do that a lot. And it's an important thing to do that. So just a little bit about me. We are going to talk about how to get one more deal in 2025. And that's the important piece. That's usually what gets everybody into the room. But I want to remind you that anything you do now, even if that doesn't become a transaction in 2025, you're planting the seeds and building your 2026 pipeline. So even if you do all of this and you just don't get one more transaction, I guarantee that how your January starts is completely different than how it started in the past. So yes, we have a goal, but remember that as you consistently do this, you're going to get there anyways. This is going to reconnect with your database. It's going to kind of re-energize you a little bit. And it's really going to get momentum going, which some of us are kind of stalled out because summer is hard. You know, and we're exhausted, and now we're like, I just want to sit down for a second. Well, if we're going to sit down for a second, let's text some people. All right, so I have handouts for everyone, and I kind of did it similar to a GPS. You know, so we've got our goal. We know what that is. We're all here today for the same goal. And then we're going to talk about strategies and priorities around those goals. I wanted to start, let me get mine. All right, priority number 1, decide it's happening, get focused, scheduled, and intentional. Have bold thoughts. What you focus on grows. If you tell yourself, I am doing this to build the business, it is going to manifest and grow. So be very, very careful with your mindset. This is exciting. This is a great opportunity for you to get out there. Success starts with the decision that it's still possible. Once you believe that, your energy changes, and so do your results. I think everybody in this room has a moment that they can remember where it was, I spent 3 hours convincing myself to make the phone call. I made the phone call. It went fine. And then my phone rang from somebody else, like the universe was listening. So that does happen when you start really firmly committing to what you're looking to do. So, you know, be kind with your mindset. Keep telling yourself we're doing this for the right reasons. It will build up that sense of momentum. So I'm going to kind of give you some things that I did this for myself. I have this fully filled out. These are all things that I'm doing. A lot of them we could all be doing. Some of them might remind you of something else you wanted to do. So focusing on people, not problems. I don't want to call. It's the holidays. Nobody wants to move this time of year. Those are all problems. And if I focus on them, I'm going to find people that aren't looking to do anything. They are slowing down for the year. I will find those people if I tell myself I'm going to. It's just as easy to remember People move every day for really important reasons. People are having children, people are getting divorced, people are getting relocated. There are still people out there moving. So if you focus on it's the end of the year and I'm never going to find anybody, you're not. If you focus on the fact that, you know what, there are people that are going through this every day, how do I get in front of them? How am I talking to them? That is a helpful way to step forward. My second strategy is I'm gonna really think about my energy, because something happens when I get very excited and energetic about something, people do also. So I'm going to talk about these opportunities, this great chance to think about what next year is going to bring. Is now the time to start? People grow into the conversations you have around them. You may think they are never gonna move. And then you're talking to them and you realize that they have this really big dream of moving to be with grandkids. Maybe me helping them have that conversation brings them closer to that decision. So my results are going to be in people. My energy is going to attract some opportunity. I am going to be very intentional. I'm back to basics. I am time blocking. I was here early so that I could get some things done. I will be leaving to go get more things done. I'm still time blocking. I'm pretending like it's the start, because when we really need to build our business up, we have to bring all of the intensity that we brought when we started our business. Anybody think of any other strategies around, deciding it's happening, getting focused, getting intentional? Is there any other strategies that you might think that would work for you? If so, jot them down. We could talk them through. All right. Priority number 2. Your next deal is in your phone. Activity creates clarity. Don't overthink it, just connect. If you look at 1,000 contacts in your phone and are trying to figure out who the buyer is, that's going to take longer than you to start calling people and just checking in. Feel free to gamify it. You don't have to tell them that you're trying to get one more deal for 2025, because what you're really trying to do is make sure that you're talking to people before the end of the year so everyone is in the right position to help. That's really what you're doing. And you're going to decide, I'm helping them this year or I'm helping them next year. But don't overthink it. Just get out there, just work on connecting with people, because it's a perfect opportunity to do it. I do some things in my phone. So here are some of my strategies. I make phone calls and I say really strange things like, so how's your house treating you right now? I just had to clean my gutters. How's your house treating you? Now, they expect that conversation. That doesn't say, are you ready to buy, sell, or invest? It doesn't say, hey, who are you looking to introduce me to that needs to buy, sell, or invest? It's a conversation. It's homeowner to homeowner. It's open, it's candid, it's about connection. And you might hear something. My husband just had a stroke. We are definitely not cleaning gutters this year. In fact, who do you know that does? Okay, well now I have the opportunity to help. Now there's a whole other more important thing. I have an opportunity to help, but I also know some important information about that person. There may be a move coming. I'm going to help them now so I can help them later. But just by opening up my phone and starting to talk to people, I might be finding my next opportunity. I recently, and we can all do, I have an iPhone, I don't know what Android does, but with an iPhone, if you pull down the search bar in your messages and type buy, every single text that you ever use, buy in, will come up. I will sometimes do that. And I will search buyer, I will search seller, I search pre-approved. So I will, because sometimes it's somebody that isn't saved. They got your name from the lender for something, they're reaching out. It might not be the strongest connection, but I don't want my phone to continue to push that person down. So get in your phone, hack it, see what's in there. There might be, that next buyer might be there. Maybe 6 months ago, they saw you at an open house and they weren't ready yet. Well, it's been 6 months, you kind of forgot about them because it was a soft meeting and they're not in your database yet, but they turned up when you searched inside your phone. I know that everyone is so sick of hearing me say DT, D2, but this is your opportunity. If you have not done it all year, start doing it now, because again, your phone is there and you need to be reaching out and connecting with them. Another strategy that I like along the how's your home treating you is, how is it decorated? What did your trick or treat look like? Do you have chrysanthemums? I am not a fan. I like the cabbage flowers. So you have an opportunity to talk things real estate adjacent, to connect with people, but it's not that cringy reach out of like, I'm trying to get a deal. You're doing it and you're being intentional, but you have other things to talk to them about so they don't pick up on the, I am calling 100 people this week. So there's 4 strategies right there that I am using to kind of get into my phone and hack it a little different way. All right. Priority number 3, don't forget command. So here's where my phone and command need to talk. Sometimes we put them into our phone and we haven't gotten them into commands yet, which means that we're doing double duty. I can't email you in the group email to everyone else if you're still in my phone. So sit down. Remember that your phone and command work well together. It's a really great time to start auditing that. Get all of those contacts that are in your phone, get them into command. Set them up on smart plans. Holiday texts, winter reminders. Get them on a birthday plan so that you remember in 2026 to reach out to them about that. But use those smart plans for them to do some work behind the scenes. Another priority that I'm doing is I am searching the specific tags that I use so I can create very intentional conversations with groups of them. I have a tag that says veterans because all of the people, that's part of my passion project. So all of the people that I know of that have a military service, the veterans that I'm talking to, I have them all tagged that way. And there's a Hero Ruck event coming up. Here's a great way for me to reach out to 100 people, sharing an event that is important to them, to me, to the community. It's not an ask for business, but it is a way to reconnect, because sometimes we get real stale and we have to remember these are actually humans and we want them to like us enough that they want to do business with us when that time comes also. So reminding them, I care about the same things you do, and it isn't always real estate, is helpful. So I am pulling those tags out and I am doing very separate, different emails. It's fall, dog parks are closing. What hikes do I recommend to my dog walking friends? One email that got to be delivered to multiple dog owners. Use command. We pay for it, use it. So the cringy Christmas card letter, the about me letter. What would it look like if you used command and created one about me email to go out to your entire database? Think about the direction you're taking with it. This isn't all about my business. I mean, we've got a big why. What's your big why? How many people did you connect with today? What did you do for Red Day Giving Back? Did you watch a really great show? Read a really great book? Like, it would be okay to send an email to learn a little bit more about me. That is something that I started this year. It felt really strange. More responses and more opens on those. And the subject line is usually a little something about me. Or, this one's from my heart. Just something, they get opened and it reminds people you're a real human. So maybe an About Me update email might be a strategy that feels comfortable for you. And so another strategy I'm using around command right now, and we all do this, it starts off really great, and then we forget to put an email in, or to update the address, or we updated the address, but we forgot to put them on a smart plan around their home anniversary. As every time I'm in command right now, there is time also spent on really aggressively sorting, categorizing, and fine-tuning that command database. So those are some strategies that I am using right now. All right, let's see, we're on strategy 4. Work with the ready, the willing, and the able. Now this is very specific. Ready, willing, able. Now, top 4 strategies for me. I need to find those people because they're not, and I'm already assuming they're not in my database. Like, this is how I can get more to add, sharpen my sword. Open houses. I mean, we're all sitting here. We could have been an agent for 5 minutes or 15 years, but open houses are ready, willing, and able buyers. And right now, in this economy, like with real estate, there's a lot of agents that couldn't have the buyer representation conversation well. And there are a lot of unrepresented buyers that their only way in is an open house. Mm-hmm. That is just the reality. So I'm dusting off my open house booties. I'm doing some open houses. I'm making sure that not only for mine, but for others. So let's, getting back to basics is kind of some of the things we're talking about. Open houses are the best way to get in front of those ready, willing, and able buyers. All right, another way to track buyers, a buyer education class or event. And those do not have to be cost prohibitive. It could be a coffee shop on a Saturday morning, and you frame it around Q&A. It could be, it doesn't have to be, it could be at the Dart League, at the local brewery, blah, blah, blah. If that feels like your niche. It could be at the school as part of open house. Talk to the school. But if we need to find ready, willing, and able, sellers are not as ready, willing, and able. We all know that. It takes time. They've got to pack, they've got to clean, they've got to fix, they've got to do. But buyers that are ready, willing, and able, those are the ones we really want to find. Strategy 3, reach out to lenders and ask, who do they know that is approved and unaffiliated? Now, again, 4 years ago, the first thing we said to every person that wanted to buy was, get a pre-approval. It all starts with pre-approval. Well, now, sometimes they're sidestepping an agent, so they still don't know pre-approval is the first step, and there's no agent telling them that. They're talking to our lenders without representation. And our lenders, as much as we love them and they love us, they cheat on us. We are not the only realtor in their database, just like they are not the only lender in ours. But reaching out to them or stopping by the office and just saying, hey, Sean Hadley, I'm here and I do have room in my calendar to start speaking to new buyers. Who do you have that needs representation? Having that conversation with each of your agents might feel a little uncomfortable, But you already know them. It's 5 minutes of a phone call. It's a very quick conversation, and it reminds them, because they get in their lane and they're doing their things, and they're assuming that maybe they have representation. They may not know that Brooke is sitting there and she's not represented right now, or that Jade is more than willing to be picking up first-time buyer clients, because that's the other thing, is they think that agents after a certain point age out of things. Oh, you would sell a house under $100,000? I would help a family, yes. Oh, you would do this? Yes. So remind them you are still here being a realtor, helping people, and you have more people you want to help this year. Let's do that together. It's a great strategy, in my opinion. And then the other part, kind of back to command, but having those conversations with your people, because everybody knows what's going on in their neighbor's life. They know that they're not moving anytime soon, but ask them, hey, who at work is newly pregnant? Hey, who at work just got engaged? The holidays are coming. Ask these questions now so they remember, because after the holidays, when everybody gets pregnant and everybody gets engaged, you recently had that conversation with your friends. You recently just said, hey, what's going on? Think of me when this comes up. I'd love to help them. All right? Asking for the business is not a bad thing. And honestly, it's a strategy we sometimes forget about. So hopefully those were a couple of strategies, and some other things. It might trigger some things for you. All right, use the holidays as a hook. We spent a couple of minutes talking about my love of the holidays. I am an ex-educator. I'm gonna wear the sweater, do the thing. But there's a really magical mindset that happens around the holidays. Everything just feels a little more magical. It feels a little more special, a little more heart-centric. So these are the transactions that do really drive social media, and they make it so much more personable. But using those holidays is a way to have a conversation. I mean, I came up with 6 strategies within 6 seconds around this one, because right now it's what everybody's thinking about. So how can we keep showing up as the person in the room that is also a realtor? So you want to keep it personal, you want to keep it conversational, you want to keep it real. People remember how you made them feel. They don't remember your pitch. So just make them feel what's in your heart, which is, I want to help you. I am knowledgeable. This can be scary. I want to help you. How amazing would it be for you to put your Christmas tree up in your own house this year? So some of my strategies. Well, if we would have done this 2 weeks ago, you would have heard that I was doing 4 different trick-or-treat events. I have 1 more left. That's the one you're going to hear about. I have 1,000 slap bracelets, branded. Keleigh is spooky good at what she does. I will be downtown Kent for family-friendly trick-or-treat with one of my business owner friends that has a toy shop, because that's on brand for me. And that's where I'm going to be, in a costume, handing out bracelets. By the way, the bracelet is for the kids. The sticker is on the underside. So the mom that picks it up for the next 6 months from her car footwell, she's going to see the sticker. That's important to me. You mark it any way you want. I just didn't want the kids to feel they were getting marketed too. But yeah, I'm doing a trick-or-treat event. I got 1 more in me. That's going to get me in front of 1,000+ people. But I'm going to do it because it's the holidays and it's fun, and putting on a costume as an adult is amazing, and other people notice it. And so I'm going to do it. All right, strategy number 2, November marketing around my closed families. I want to talk about being thankful. These people are celebrating their first Thanksgiving, their first holiday, their first family get together. They are doing this. That is heartfelt. We look like the rock star that tells their story, and people love us for telling their story. Not my story, not, hey, I wore closing booties for this. I mean, I did, and I posted about it, but I'm bringing it back around. I'm talking about them. And you know what? You can plan that out. If you are fortunate enough to have 30 days of November closings, amazing. If you have one closing, you can talk about it in different ways. You can talk about the other people that you helped get pre-approved. Maybe they're not buying yet. Share their stories. Talk about them. They're going to appreciate hearing your version of their story. They're going to share that to their people. You are going to just be kind, and it's going to multiply. All right? 3, Small Business Saturday. I'm a small business. I will be downtown for Small Business Saturday. I'm going to be helping with that event. But Small Business Saturday is a wonderful opportunity for you to partner with a small business. And the partnership could be as simple as Flourish Plant Shop. Alicia, I am going to share one of your posts every month between now and the end of the year. If I post something that feels helpful, would you feel comfortable sharing one of my posts? And then I'm going to go to the coffee shop, who already shares my post every week because I call it my office hours. And that's the thing too, be consistent. What you do now, do it again in the spring. Don't just do it once a year. They'll start to figure it out. But be consistent about it. But think about ways that you are showing your abilities and how they've helped other people, because that's what we want this time of year. Holiday cards, I mean, I don't want to. I got married and didn't send a Christmas card. But Realtor Keleigh sends Christmas cards and holiday cards. And I do it every year. And I don't use a sticker, and I hand sign them all, and I use, some glitter. I do it. It takes time. Start now. It takes time. But people still, in this time of text, like you walk into every single house and they're around door frames and they're in Christmas trees. People love those holiday cards. I want my holiday card to be on the wall of the home I just help them buy. So send the card, do the card. Strategy 5, sponsor a community event or a get together. Now I recognize that it could get expensive. So decide what your budget is for this and how can you help. Could it be you contribute $50 for the hot cocoa for the tree lighting ceremony? You're still a sponsor. You can still talk about it. You're still giving as a member of the community. I sponsor an event every year called Jingle Mingle. It's just one of the events I sponsor, but it's for Leadership Portage County. And I throw a party, and then they make me come up, and they never want me to talk about the organization. They always want me to talk about me. And it's a quick thing, but I'm in the room with people. I'm throwing a big party. It's called Jingle Mingle, for gosh sakes. I mean, it's super fun. But it's consistency. The first time I did it, I didn't walk out of the event with 14 business cards and 2 new buyer representation agreements. But I've done it a couple of years consistently. Their marketing has gotten better in pushing it. My don't talk about me conversation has gotten a little better after, from holding the mic all these years. But what has happened is people are now starting to see this as Kelleigh's party in December. Keleigh wins your party. And that's helpful because it's something that I care about, but I'm also linked with something that is fun. It's kind of on brand for me. So think of a way to sponsor. And if you are with any of these, if you hit a wall, Remember that I started small and I'm still small in a lot of ways, so I can help you problem solve around some of these things. If big deal sponsorship isn't for you, maybe there's something smaller that we could figure out together. Okay, number 6. I don't think you guys only have 6 lines on this one, but post ways to give, not just selling. So I want my marketing to feel like I'm telling a story. I want my marketing to feel it's about giving. I want to be memorable. I want to be magnetic. So I'm going to post like we're heading into it. There's going to be a lot of hungry people this year. The food pantries are already empty. They should not be empty at this point. Posting about for me, posting about Kent's Social Services and the fact that they have no meat and they are begging for cereal. I'm going to share that. Posting that Town Hall 2 is collecting backpacks because they couldn't get enough school time backpacks. So we have kids that still don't have crayons, paper, notebooks, things like that. So they're doing it again in December. Sharing that. So again, it's something that I value and that is important, but it isn't about me, and it's just out there. And it's reminding people, my God, she does care about more than just sparkles and real estate. So those are like my top 6 strategies for that one, because I love using the holidays as a hook. All right, priority number 6, accountability and action. We all started talking about where we came from, and accountability and action is what got me in front of this room today, and it's what has all of you here. When you write it down, you own it. When you share it, you're accountable. So, the grocery list of things you want to get accomplished for yourself, that's yours. You've written this down, you've made it, but in order for it to get off of the paper and into the living, you've got to share that. You've got to tell your person, your partner, your best friend, your worst enemy, your coach. You have to tell someone else this detail. Get it off the paper and into the world. So, I'm always here for that, by the way. Like, if it's helpful for you to say, Kelly, I'm going to call 20 people like you told me to. Okay, when we check it in. I don't lie, tell me the truth. That's all I ever ask. If you want an accountability partner, I'm here to help you do that. We'll be honest and candid. I problem solve with happiness. So if you didn't get 20, we're going to figure out why, and we're going to do 20 again. So please always know that you have people here that care about your success. All right, some strategies. Time block. I know, right? We were at the business planning clinic 2 weeks ago, and Scott said something that was really impactful, and he was talking about how you have to still keep showing up even when it's hard. Time blocking is a nice accountability partner. You're like, okay, because you can lose a morning real fast. You can. And if you lose your morning, what needs to be moved to the afternoon so it still happens? Like, time block. And remember to time block for the good stuff. Sometimes I'm not that great about that, and I'm coming out of it. I forgot to time block for some fun stuff, and that wasn't a great space to be. And it was really starting to affect me and how my 3 hours of time blocking was not as productive because I was forgetting to time block for some other stuff also. So take care of your calendar, take care of your schedule, and if you need help with that, please reach out. All right, set that goal and crush it. Crush it. Set it, crush it. Now, sometimes we set goals that seem easy because we don't want to fail. I've done that before also. I completely understand why we do it. I encourage you to be bold and set a big goal and crush it. Because the other part of it is, even if you don't crush it, Your story is still magnetic. Oh, I had a small goal. I just wanted to have one transaction this year, but I really wanted to make sure it happened. And I got my one transaction this year. Mm-hmm. Bravo, you got one transaction. That is an amazing thing. You set a goal and you met it. What's your new goal? Now, meanwhile, we've got someone over here. I am going to close 100 houses. Did you crush that goal? No, I didn't close 100 houses. Okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna set the same damn goal. I'm gonna do it again. I am gonna set that goal until I do crush it. Because even your story is impactful. They're like, oh my gosh, that is so huge. I don't know if I could write down sell 100 houses. I don't know if I'm even that brave. They see you differently than you do. Set the goal. Don't cheapen out for yourself or for anyone else. And you will be surprised. I stand in front of you, I set the same, I had one particular goal that I've set every year that I've been an agent. And I have cried and been disappointed and imposter syndrome and all those horrible things that we do around that goal because I didn't meet it. And this year I met it. And it's crazy because now I've busted through that ceiling and I have a new glass floor. So now I have a new goal to work on crushing. Be bold. Strategy 3, tell everybody, even the people you're communicating with. Remember, when you tell people, it makes you accountable. Tell them. If it feels right, tell them. I am back to basics. I have been just doing the thing, but I haven't been really doing the thing. And I've decided I want to end the year strong. And I'm so glad you picked up the phone today because I told myself I was going to call and talk to 20 different people today. Thanks for being number one. People like to hear about other goals. I mean, there's always somebody's like, oh, I'm back to the gym. It's Monday, back to the gym. You know, like every Monday they're back to the gym. We still want to hear their goal. We still cheer them on. We still hope that maybe they go to the gym on Tuesday too. Same with your goals. One very easy thing to say, I have a goal to help one more family before 2026. Who do you know? Because honestly, you just said help. And it might be you're helping them get connected to a contractor because next year they're gonna sell and they haven't told you that yet. But that phrase, I have a goal to help one more family before 2026, that's a goal that I think a lot of people can get behind. And it's focusing on the important part, helping somebody else. All right, strategy number 4, connect every day. Now we talked about 20 a day, 100 a week. I am not telling you that you need to work 7 days a week, but we call it work when we're scrolling on social media. So why on Sunday, if it's our day off, but we are in social media, feel free to comment, like, share, post, communicate. Don't die out. Don't hit it running Monday through Friday and then people are like, what happened to her on Saturday and Sunday? Saturday and Sunday sometimes is a fun time. Saturday and Sunday sometimes you're working. But connect with people every single day. You need to start practicing those skills again. Like how we build our business is how we keep our business thriving. Strategy 5, have an accountability partner. These two jerks, these two are mine sometimes because they know me better than anyone. And so those are my accountability partners. But I mean, Kate and I talk every week about numbers and people. I talk to clients every day. I'm their accountability partner for some stuff. They told me they were going to get pre-approved by the end of this year. I'm going to be their accountability partner. How's that coming? Have we sold some stuff yet? Have we start working on reducing our credit? Talk to them. Be their accountability partner. But have an accountability partner for yourself also around this part. if you walk out the door to go to a listing appointment, tell them, I'm going out to get this listing. They'll ask, tell everyone, put it on social media, because people care and they want to know and they want to support you. So we were talking about a couple of different, now these are just mine, but I think that I gave you some choices, some different options. Again, it might not feel comfortable always, but I encourage you to be uncomfortable sometimes. Does anyone have anything they want to share? Any questions? Any thoughts? Yes, ma'am.
I think for me, just looking at all these things, they're really great, but even just starting small, of like, you see your big goal and you're like, that feels really unattainable, or I'm not sure how I'm gonna get there. But if you don't even start, and you don't even start small, then you're never gonna have a chance at getting big. So like the fear of going big sometimes keeps us from even doing small things. And I think sometimes it's just like, talk to 5 people. You know, like that's really not that many people. Like
right.
You can talk to 5 people in an hour, you know, and
right.
so it's like, yeah, that might not be the 20 contacts a day that we should be doing, but it's still 5, which is better than 0.
Exactly.
So it's like just doing something versus having the fear and not doing anything is like a win in of itself. It's not a bad thing.
I agree. I mean, you know, what's the expression? You know, success is boring. You know, and it is sometimes, because you know you start off and you're like, okay, it was really easy to make. Well, it didn't feel easy at the time, but it felt easier to make 20. You're like, I have all day. I mean, I have plenty of time to make those phone calls. But it's starting doing something is the most important part. Get out of your own way. Honestly, you know, you're like you said, 5 calls is still better than no calls.
Yeah. And like we just did, one of my goals this year was to bring events back for the Immerman team. We stopped doing them when Nancy passed away, and so it was like very difficult for me to get back into it because it was just uncomfortable. And we've done 2 events in the last 6 months, actually the last probably 4 months, and they've both been very successful, even though it's been a lot of work and very time consuming and uncomfortable, and like we've had to do things that we didn't want to do. I'm not a party planner. I'm terrible at it, but I've been forcing myself to do it, and we've actually had really good results from it. And so it's like just doing the things I said I was gonna do is a win. Like, who cares about the event, you know? Like,
right.
It's a win. You know,
again, what fail fast, fail forward, that was a mantra. Like, I mean, I probably said it to myself 100 times a day sometimes. But everyone, you know what you wanted it to be and what it was. Everyone else just knows that, oh my gosh, my realtor friend did this event. Really? I didn't throw this event, they did. So just the perception on the outside is always going to be kinder and gentler than how you look at it yourself.
Right.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, we just had one on
I saw your social
Friday.
media. You did a fall
festival. Yeah, we had, how many people do you think came? Like 80?
That's amazing.
Yeah, we had a lot of people, and I thought no one was going to show up.
Oh yeah, there's always that. You're like, I'm going to have a
2
party.
minutes, it was like 2:02 and Brooke's like, no one's here.
Yeah, I was like, no one's coming, because it started at 2. And I'm like, no one's coming.
No one's here.
And then all of a sudden they start coming, and people kept saying like how great of an event it was. And honestly, it was just like we rented a pavilion, we rented a bounce house, obstacle course thing, and we had like pink pumpkins and like temporary tattoos and like
The duck scavenger
hunt, which was a hit with the kids. But like, you just don't think people are gonna like it as much as they do, and you like get in your head about it, and just doing it is like, I'm just learning through, you just gotta do it. I don't know.
It is. I mean, just the one step into the uncomfortable is a big challenge, but the second foot always follows. You just have got to do it. You've just got to be bold.
Yep.
Like I said, sometimes you've got to get out of your own way or shut down that voice in your head. having that team and vocalizing that, I'm sure that's like a close to heart one for the reasons that you mentioned, and you made it happen. You said you were going to do it, you did it.
Yeah.
That is,
Which I'm trying to work on, because we say a lot of things and then, doing them.
well, EP.
Yeah. So I'm like, this year, like really going into next year, I'm focused on what am I saying I'm doing, and then what am I actually doing, and do those things line up? And if they don't, I need to stop saying I'm going to do something, because I need to just do it. So anyway, sorry, that was kind of off topic.
No. Actually, that's kind of the dynamic. Again,
Yeah.
the reason I'm here is the dynamic experience of agents being in the room together.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was good.
Does anyone have any questions? Is there anything you need from me at this time?
That was good.
All right. I want to hear about your next new deal.
All right.
And don't forget, building the pipeline is just as important. And I know that that's not the name of the, it's really a long name for the training, but anything you do between now and the end of the year is not going to harm your business in any way.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I had to choose between one deal now or 3 waiting for me before the end of January, I'll go for 3 at the end of January. And again, it's going to happen just through showing up every day as the dynamic humans you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.